Are there any announcements? John, who's with us electronically tonight?
President Rashawn, Josh Phillips.
Hi, Josh.
Hello, managers. Good evening.
If you don't mind my comment, couldn't handle the weather by chance? Just having fun. Did you hear that? Oh, I can answer. Very good.
I couldn't make it in person, but wanted to listen into the easement discussion as well as the Legion Lane homes.
Will indeed, sir. Thank you. Okay. Very good. And thank you for being with us, at least electronically. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second? It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Agenda has been approved. Public forum. Anybody to speak? Anybody outside of any particular issues? Would this be a good time to bring up the under managers? I want to add Rick. That, yeah, I know I can do anything I want. Fried chicken for all. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, please add under managers Rick's item. Okay. And it's good to see everybody here. Well, I hope that everybody had a wonderful holiday. And nobody fell or, yeah, weather fluctuated to some extent. Okay. The consent calendar. Okay, is there anything that any of the managers would like to pull on the consent calendar? Okay, I have one item. That would be item D, 2026-04. That's some questions on that. So pending that, I would like to make a motion to approve all of the other items, including the treasurer's report. Moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
It is approved. Let's go to item D, please. Okay, John, I need a little help here. This is the Amy Johnson Crawford property. Okay, so I understand this for the most part. And the only concern I have is I just want to understand some basic mechanics or an explanation of what it is exactly they're going to do. They're going to set a pond on one side and the iron filings on the other. I don't mean to sound so ignorant about it, but
President Rashawn,
yeah,
the ponding area, the area closer to the end of the cul-de-sac is a pre-treatment area,
okay,
and that would overflow into the iron enhanced sand filtration system. And then once water gets high enough, both of those are discharged to the southeast into a very deep depression.
okay. And that flows out. I know where this is. I assume that this is going to head towards Afton.
Yeah, Mr. President, this is all in Afton, and it's a little bit confusing, maybe by 17. So Afton is actually to the right.
Okay, I get it. So then the other thing, just very quickly, this the iron system. How long will that be in existence before any maintenance is required?
Mr. President, that would be up to the permit holder to do inspections.
Okay,
They typically last over a decade.
okay, very good. Simple
Depending
enough.
on the land cover, the runoff coming into them.
Now, based on something that we talked about earlier with a different client, one concern, and it just popped up, it was just a question or something that I thought about, and that is they've done the borings and we don't have a problem with any captured clay or anything that might impede infiltration or anything like that. correct?
Mr. President, with this site, they're not doing infiltration, they're doing
Okay.
filtration. The reason they're doing filtration
Yeah.
is because of the karst.
I understand that. I mean, so deep. And so with that, capturing and then releasing.
Correct.
They're gonna handle the maintenance. And they're gonna start this as soon as we give approval, or is this something we're gonna do in spring?
I'm guessing it would be in the spring, like, I don't recall the timeline.
And I see that they're going to provide us with a surety that Treasurer Gelman has already received. Okay, that's the, yeah, sorry to take your time on this one. So I feel satisfied with this, and I would like to make a motion to approve permit 2026-04. Do I have a second?
Second.
The moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is approved. Let's move on. Updates of professional partners, volunteers, citizens advisory committees. Nothing there. If anyone, speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay, business and reports. Here's my favorite. Valley Branch rules and regulations. Mr. Engineer, start us with this, please.
Mr. President, managers. We've talked about updating the rules and regulations, specifically regarding easements over low areas, flood elevations. At the last meeting, I brought up an opportunity to partner with the South Washington Watershed District to collaborate on certain rules and regulations. Through that discussion, the managers decided that that might be okay, but they'd like to move forward in updating the rules and regulations on the easements as soon as possible. And so Josh Phillips and I have made some suggestions for the managers to consider with the rules and regulations. It's mostly with the easements over flood elevations. There's some further definition with easements over stormwater management facilities.
Okay.
A change regarding the number of floor buildings that would require, and a lot of reformatting to make it maybe a little bit easier for permit applicants to find things. So that, for example, grouping all of the pre-treatment requirements together, grouping karst information together rather than having it more sprinkled throughout the years. We also updated some references specifically regarding the Wetland Conservation Act and the MinRent assessment that the Board of Water and Soil Resources has just come out with a new tool, and we'd expect that there might need to be another rule update, and that would probably be maybe let's say with South Washington, just because the Board of Water and Soil Resources hasn't given us a lot of guidance on using this new wetland assessment.
Okay, first, very nice work. It's quite a bit to digest, by the way. And Mr. Broad, thank you for paying attention and adding details. And certainly if the managers have any further comments or things they'd like to add, they can do it here or email John and Josh. But for the most part, I suppose we're on the right track unless anybody has anything further. Do I hear anything?
I'm just curious about a little bit about the review process because obviously if the files are in them, also the all transportation authorities. What about, I mean, by sending them to transportation authorities, does that automatically cover LGUs as well? So it seems like,
Yes, we've sent it to all the communities in the past, as we consider they have roads that they regulate or they manage, and so we send it to all the communities.
Very good, sir. And then I do want to add one. I think it's a silly pet peeve, but I've gone over this before, and this is on page 5. The Valley Branch Watershed District Vision. Always be careful, stewards. It has been my opinion for some time that is a awkward, bless you, that is an awkward word to put in front of stewards. And And with everybody's blessing, I would like to see that word removed.
Mr. President, this is your current 2015-2025 vision and mission.
Okay,
Because you're so close in your 2026, 2035 10-year plan, we could, I think it would be acceptable to update the vision and mission to be consistent with what you've approved in that plan, that 10-year plan.
very good, sir. I'm assuming the managers are just fine with that, and that doesn't require a motion. Very good, John, and I appreciate that. I've never understood that, but I'm not going to elaborate any further. Outside of that, I had questions about some of the particular items off the different pages, but I don't think that aside from questioning things that I'm somewhat unfamiliar with or require more elucidation on my part, I would let those go and defer those to any questions that I might have via email. So at this point,
I have
yes, sir,
just
please.
one comment. And I guess it's more to reassure me that we're not eliminating something here. On page 18,
18.
right near the top, item number 10, electronic copy of part 1 of the combined wetland permit application for all projects, blah, 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 is all crossed out. My assumption is that that's then covered in the application for activities affecting water resources in Minnesota, the joint application form.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? Okay, cool. Thank you.
Good. Anything further, gentlemen? Even you, Mr. Inspector. Got anything you might think about? Okay,
No, President Gershon.
thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'll have a question for you later regarding your situation. So with that said, we can ask you, Mr. Engineer, to carry on and make this so, take us to the next step, which is going to be,
Mr. President, we'd work on some formatting issues, check for ADA compliance, and then send it out to the review agencies for a 45-day comment period.
okay, very good. And as I asked earlier, the ADA compliance shouldn't be a big deal, right? Or have things changed dramatically?
There's a flow chart called the flexible design sequence flow chart that was not included in this submittal to you because it's the same as what the current rules are.
Yeah.
Some tweaks that need to be made dealing with karst and some other things. That would be the most complicated thing to make ADA compliant. And then the table that you're looking at right now, Mr. President.
Right, on
That
58.
we might have to reformat that to make that ADA compliant as well.
Okay, but that could be because I rather enjoyed this, a flow chart kind of guy. And so this is very appealing, by the way. I don't know if we had that in the original or if that's something that you added.
No, Mr. President, this is the addition based on the workshop that you had with
Beautiful.
environment.
Oh, that's wonderful. I did want to comment about that. Okay, very good, sir. Anything further? Okay. So. Make it so.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Let's move on to Attorney Thorfeld.
Right.
Ma'am, what do you got for us?
First on the agenda is an update regarding insurance coverage for acquired properties that the district has acquired. So Lori has taken the lead on that. She reached out to the district's insurer and asked about coverage regarding real property that the district acquires and what kind of coverage, I guess, kind of liability coverage they have. The current coverage does not include the kind of risk exposure protection that the managers indicated they would like to have. So Tori is obtaining quotes and will come back and present that information once she has it from the insurance providers. And also talking through, she and I chatted briefly, the concern, of course, is the liability, but then also, what insurance providers are often thinking about is what happens if the property gets hit by a tornado or has a fire? Well, obviously the district isn't gonna want to rebuild, but also then making sure there isn't some kind of hazard. So she's talking through that with the insurance providers as well. Any
Wow.
questions on that?
No, ma'am, except that, who's our present provider, Western or something?
Waypoint.
Waypoint.
Waypoint, I'm sorry. Okay, Waypoint. And so I assume, was I close? So I assume she's gonna contact them and see what,
She has been in contact with them, so she's just continuing.
and see what further
Yep.
fees come out of this, if anything.
Yep.
Okay, very good. That is wonderful. All right, your next item,
My next item
Jeffrey?
is the resolution to approve, is it Geffrey or Jeffrey? I don't. Okay, Geffrey.
Thank you.
The Geffrey permit, which was approved at the last meeting in December. However,
okay,
our office recommended to have a resolution just, this one has some potential for not litigation against the district per se, but just unhappy neighbors. And if,
oh,
if the district gets caught in the middle somehow, you want a good record of how decisions were made and why decisions were made, and this resolution will do that, especially because it was kind of a unique circumstance with having the stormwater pipe and
yeah.
covering that up.
Out of curiosity and briefly, what might the neighbors be unhappy about?
Well, you're almost stuck in the middle.
Okay,
And John knows more of the history, but I'll explain it as I know it, but please correct me if I have it wrong. The nursery installed a drainage pipe, right? And their drainage goes into the Geffrey property. As far as we, the district, know,
right,
there isn't any permission for that stormwater pipe explicit, right? There wasn't an easement granted, at least not in the public record that we're aware of. Of course, I haven't done a lot of digging, but I don't have to do digging. It's not a problem to fix. But to the best of our knowledge, that stormwater pipe was installed really without the Geffrey's permission or some prior owner. Now, the current nursery didn't put it in there, but their stormwater goes in. So the work that Mr. Geffrey did, he covered up that pipe. So the water,
Right.
so there's a water impact now on the nursery, but there's some argument as to whether they had a right to put it there or not. That's not the district's decision or not, right? And so our advice, Tori and I also talked with John and Josh, all of us talked together about this. Just don't worry about the who's right or who's wrong. That's not the district's problem to fix. That's a private matter.
right.
But consider this just as if this were any other permit, right? And do your best to give a professional review and recommendation to the managers, which is what was done. But the purpose of then the resolution is just to really solidify that process occurred. And so if either the nursery or Geffrey's are unhappy and say, well, the water district gave their stamp of approval, what you have is a record saying, no, we followed a process, right? We had a situation come before us. We followed the process. This is how we handled it. So that's really what it's kind of a unique situation anyway, but that was part of the impetus for the resolution.
Mr. Bill, you seem to enjoy what she said.
Always. No, I think that's right. I think it's always good to have a record of what we're doing and the procedures that we followed. And, it shows that we haven't really done anything proactive. We've just followed our regular procedures on this. So.
Thank you, Counselor.
Mhm.
So we're required to approve the resolution today?
Yeah, the recommendation is to approve the resolution
Question.
for you.
Yes, sir.
Does this advance, our, desire to see some improvement of the situation that we've got with Gertens in terms of their water flow? Are there things that we can do at this point to encourage it in that direction or, kind of guide it that way in some fashion?
John, I don't know if you have an opinion on that, but my thought is that really what the managers were presented with was Mr. Geffrey did some fill.
Yeah.
And had to get a permit for it. And so part of the district's approval of that permit required him to really get permission not to have, that the water's gonna stay up there. On the neighboring property. So as far as fixing the water issues, I don't really know. And I do believe that the district has been involved in applying for some of the 3M funds,
Yes.
but I was told that there's a lot of applications and this is probably really small fit in comparison to the other kind of requests that are being made. But John, you might have a better answer than I do.
I think that's a fair characterization for me.
Okay.
We're reacting to the unpermitted
Two
project.
separate issues. We're not making it any worse, though.
Well, no, because the district didn't do anything, right? This isn't a project that the district promoted or
Yeah.
did. It's somebody else did the work and that work requires a Valley Branch permit. So that's how you respond. That's how you got pulled into the situation in the first place.
To keep pulling us in.
So if the nursery wanted to repair, fix, or redirect the water leaving the site, they would need a permit from the watershed, and then the watershed would get to review that, and it would just, hopefully just happen like the previous owner of that property just put in a drain pipe and said, off you go,
Yeah,
without any kind of drainage easements or rights or agreements or.
to the best of our knowledge. I mean, I personally have not done a lot of research on the property records because I'm not really called to, right? It's not really something I need to do for this, but it certainly could be an issue between the property owners, but again, that's a private matter. That's not a watershed matter to fix.
So there's no further questions pending approval. We need to sign off on this and,
Yes, please.
okay, yes, ma'am. So all that, I would like to make a motion to approve of resolution 2026-01, which is approving the Geffrey, if I pronounce that correctly, permit 2025-52 to fill dirt and topsoil at 9140 10th Street, North Lake Elmo. Do I have a
Second.
second? It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Thank you, gentlemen. That resolution is approved.
Our first resolution of the year.
I got some first in the year for you. So, Counselor,
Yep, one more.
okay,
So I,
but just, sorry, sign,
please, actually, I have one without holes in it, so. I'll
okay, right on,
hand.
very good.
The last item before you is, I will sometimes go through the forms and review them and tweak them, that go with the permits, such as the maintenance agreement form and the easements. And funny enough, last year, someone asked, well, where's my dollar? Because the former easement said for $1 in other good and valuable consideration. Which made me realize this is quite outdated. It's really not the language anyone uses anymore. And I had hoped to just sort of tweak that, but looking at it, it really seemed to need a bit of an overhaul. So I have actually overhauled it. This is a form I have been sending out for a couple of months that as people have been wanting, easements, and it really seems like it should be in my opinion, the easement form for the district. I did receive some comments today from Engineer Phillips. I don't think it was anything too substantive, but I guess I would ask with approval just to be able to make a few tweaks. But as long as the managers are okay with it. The other forms, I'm sorry. The other form is the green space declaration. That's the form if someone is basically using their entire green space to collect the water and then use it for irrigation. So you really can't have easements all over it. It just is practical. The district in the past has allowed the green space declaration. I'd like to have that on the form or on the website as well as a minimum floor declaration. So yes, any questions?
Thank you. Please, sir.
Just one clarification. So this easement form that we're reviewing, I assume that's for the stormwater management facilities, and there's a different one then for the floodplain easements when we require those, or?
There has not been one, but it's not a terrible idea to have a floodplain easement. It's always, I just haven't seen it. So
My reason for asking that is because this easement says that, we can go in there and we can put in storm sewers and they think, and the whole reason for our floodplain easements is to preserve that floodplain storage. And so if that's what it is, it seems like that's what we should say, and not say that we can go in and build all kinds of improvements and stuff on their property with that easement.
mhm.
How does that sound, Counselor?
Well, it's a good point. And I'm sorry, I'm just going through,
Some tweaking?
well, I'm going through my packet to get to the
Okay,
easement
sure.
forms. I was stuck in the rules. There's a lot of pages for the rules.
Oh,
I do see what you're saying. So what I certainly can do, because this is a surface water drainage easement, I could come up with language to try and do a floodplain easement. I would really want to probably talk to the district engineers. I'm still a little confused about how often those are used when they're not as part of like a development or, and those are shown as drainage utility easements. They don't even have such specific language as this. Well, they don't have any language. They're just shown as drainage and utility easements on the plat. So I guess what I'd ask the managers to do is to approve this. We continue to use this, but before I come back for the first meeting in February to try and come up with some language and do a follow-up on that.
Is she convincing?
Always.
Good word, Bill.
That's very reassuring. Okay,
Couple of comments.
please.
One has to do with the first page, the surface water drainage easement. Can we
Yeah.
go gender neutral on that in the very first line?
Where's that?
No to all men
Oh,
by these presence. Something like
Where-
no to all persons.
oh, yes.
Rather than
Thank you for
men.
pointing that out, yeah. Is her they?
The prior form. Are you looking at the prior?
That's the prior.
Oh.
That's the
Perhaps.
prior form.
Sorry,
Okay.
Yeah,
Good point.
that's
yes, you'll see, that's the,
that's been updated. They're way ahead of me.
Thank you.
prior.
No, it's good to point that out, Rick.
That's the one I just wanted you to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
More question?
Please.
Is there a reason this is time sensitive, or can we just wait until you update this and come back to us before we post it publicly?
The only reason, no, it's not time sensitive, other than there are permits and forms, and this is the one I am sending out to people. Just frankly, I like it better than the prior one. I think it lines up better with the district's like goals and rule language and than the other one did. The other reason I don't see in a lot of the municipal documents that I look at, you'll notice the prior easement had covenants that the district was saying, and I'm not saying the district wouldn't do this. But there's sort of a liability that the district is taking on and an agreement to put property back the way it was.
Okay.
Usually in that kind of a case, if someone's making a covenant, they sign it. The district has never signed these easements because remember, it's a grant to use somebody else's land. So my preference, so the short answer is no, there's not a time limit. No one's breathing down our necks to get this done. There's no statutory requirement to get it updated. But I would like it updated sooner rather than later, just so that I feel more comfortable pushing this form when people are asking to draft easements so they can close up the permits I have. It matches the form that's on the website.
Does that feel easier?
As long as we could maybe have a revision for the floodplain easements, maybe at the next meeting, look at that. But that would actually be a separate easement. This would be for stormwater facilities, probably be unchanged. And then the other one would be a separate document, is the way I would envision it.
Okay, so what would you require of us this evening? Just to have you to continue to work this for us?
I guess my request hasn't changed, would be to approve these and get these on the website. And then I have direction to get a floodplain easement to you for review that could then be added to the website for that,
Okay.
if that requirement is on a permit.
Sure. I'll make a motion.
Please.
But I think
Okay.
Engineer Hansen,
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I'd suggest that your motion include allowances for some minor changes. For example, there's some numbering issues that Word does goofy, so there's a repeat of 2s and 3s and things like that. So as long as your motion would include some of those corrections. Also, since this will be posted to the website, it needs to be ADA compliant, so we'll have to check that, and there might be some formatting issues that need to be changed too.
Go ahead,
I
sir.
will make a motion to approve the updated surface water easement forms and allow minor changes as long as our attorney and engineer collaborate and approve with those changes and make certain that it is ADA formatted for ADA approval.
I'll second that motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
it is approved. Thank you, Counselor. That was very good. Okay. Now. Updated surface water drainage easement form.
that's what
We just knocked that out. Very good. Okay. Just making sure, because I'm going to do this. Now. Thank you very much. We're gonna move on to our inspector. Sir,
Yes, President Mershon.
yes,
I've been out of town, so there really wasn't any inspections
that's all right.
in the current weather. I will be looking at, I work with Josh Phillips on permit closeout, so I'll be reviewing along with Josh to see what permits we can get closed out this time of year. Is a good time.
Thank you, sir.
Review he has different requirements than mine. Of course, I have to be able to inspect it, but if they're good, then Josh can go ahead and ask for all the documentation he needs to close permits out.
Okay,
So
and if I may ask, is there any updates by chance on your situation with seeking a replacement for your,
not for me, but perhaps Engineer Hansen has an update or.
nothing at this
Mr.
point?
President, I've received no resumes.
Okay,
It has been posted and there's been over 150 impressions on LinkedIn, but, as far as today, I haven't received any applications.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And we did post it right before the holidays, so that's
I get it,
probably not an
yeah.
ideal time anyway,
Right.
so.
I understand, and I may have some questions or comments later about infrastructure if, I don't know if you're involved in anything like that right now regarding any inspections,
Infrastructure.
anything concerning what we're typically doing, you know, looking at weirs and things on that order, like at
Anything, anything that is owned and managed by the watershed, Bar Engineering does the inspections. If it's something to do with a permit and a permit closeout,
Okay.
I would review, and if I had questions, I would ask Engineer Hanson. or
Okay.
Phillips for their comments on it, but typically I would I visually look at it, they actually get the as-built, you know, elevations and everything so that they can compare it to the plan and say, here's what they submitted, here's what they built. And are they correct? And are there corrections to be made? So
very good.
they typically handle that part of it. I'm usually the eyes to say, yeah, they actually put it in here. It's there. I don't measure it, but I review the plan and, you
I
know,
was generalizing. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So at least gets me up to speed
Sure.
on some things. Okay, and then, of course, does that conclude your presentation, sir?
it does.
Thank you. Okay. So I see that, if anybody has looked at, the remainder, we have carryover from, Washington Conservation District of over $8,000. Is that correct, according to this? By chance?
Here's that.
Thank you, sir. That's all I wanted to know. Okay, thank you, Mr. Inspector. Managers. Let's see. We got the cost share, project tracking. And I jumped ahead, but we're gonna look at manager. Rick,
Yes,
would you like to discuss?
yeah, I would.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
I was out on the, or I was looking at the newsletter that we get from North St. Paul. And one of the items there for the past 2 months has been an offer for free grit as a substitute for, the use of salt on driveways and so on.
Okay,
And took a look at the website. Very nicely done, it's got a link. I thought it was a really good educational tool, which I think is really kind of where the benefit comes for many people is to be able to, first of all, understand the issue and then also, see ways of minimizing, their use of salt. And there's a real nice map that PCA put together that's on, at least on the North St. Paul version of it, that shows where impaired water bodies are or partially impaired water bodies, so that you can see, where it's affecting things in the metro area. Again, back to that educational component, and of course, anytime I can see a map, that I like that. And I also checked at one of the retail outlets, and they have run out of supply. So it's been a popular option. People are seeing it and going to pick up grit there and using it. I would believe. I was thinking that that's something that we could do. It's kind of a ready-made kind of process. And if we can maybe see if we're able to get in on the partnership amongst several watershed districts already, and just add our organization to to the group as well.
What, out of curiosity, what does that provide us if we join in? We acquire information, anything else? Is it
Well,
gonna cost us anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would imagine there's a cost because somebody's got to pay for the grid. But I think it's money well spent.
Okay.
And I mean, we'd want to know what the costs are, of course. But it seems like a excellent educational opportunity to educate people about fluoride hazards.
That's hard to argue with.
Rick, is that being supplied by, Ramsey, Washington Watershed District? Because I know South Washington.
Yeah, Ramsey, Washington and South.
Not this, okay, not this year.
Mhm. Yeah, I think there were 3 or 4. I didn't make note of it.
Washington Creek's collection district and this lakes area.
I think
water
Brown,
Management organization.
Brown Creek. not Brown.
I did speak with. The title manager at the Washington our community. I spoke with her at the Minnesota Watersheds Conference and then I followed up today with email. And she's happy to meet with me. They'll have the data of everything probably by the end of February of this year. So if meet with her and find out details and bring that back in front of the board for consideration for the next meeting.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I told you that I've done, this is hanging there, folks. I've done some experimentation on my own and it's been quite successful. I use oil dry and of course, I wanted to see what the toxicity of any, what that product is. Because I've had a couple of oil spills that I cleaned up because I do my own auto maintenance. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, long story. In any case, between that and cat litter, the wife is happy and we're not slipping and sliding.
Mhm.
And of course, you know, you have to clean up after that.
There's something called cherry pit,
Yeah,
Cherry pit.
and I think it is actually rock. I think it refers to the size of the grains that they're using.
crushed granite.
Crushed granite.
Yeah,
Is that
I
what it
use
is?
it because I have chickens and it's a dual purpose.
Oh, how convenient.
And it works
Really?
on ice. I just threw some on that lovely icy driveway I came home to. And I actually got my grit free from South Washington last year. They were giving it away at the Washington County Recycling Center in Woodbury.
The program was very popular.
It was really popular, yeah. So it works great on ice. And it cleans up pretty easy, just sweep it
Yeah.
off later if it hasn't washed away.
But just direct the chickens over to the,
Well, yeah,
Do they take advantage of that?
they do, yeah.
I thought they required smaller.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do like smaller, but,
It appears that it is pretty small compared to a cherry pit.
Oh, okay.
oh, yeah, it's really small. It's
Yeah.
like little flakes of crushed granite. So it works good.
Mhm.
Got some ideas, yeah. Mr. Bill, anything exciting?
Don't think so.
All right, thank you, sir.
Nothing to top chicken grit.
I anticipate your comments, I love.
Oh, boy. He sold that well.
Okay. With that said, will the managers be able to attend the January 22 and February 12th meeting? You'll have a quorum, I assume?
I won't be for February 12th.
Okay, sir.
I won't be here for February 12th either.
Okay, then it'll just be us three, right? Okay.
let me double check. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
double
sure
check.
we're okay, but with 2 managers gone,
Make sure you're not
so we
somewhere.
need the remaining of us for, yeah, I'm okay.
Thank you.
I'm in between trips.
Oh, good, yeah. Right. I don't know what you guys got coming up, and I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
I'm gonna miss the 26th.
It's certainly a slide.
So I called dibs on missing the 26th.
Okay. You did. Okay, so the Metro Minnesota Watershed Zoom on January 20th. That's worthwhile, correct?
It usually is.
Okay, very good, just asking. And the legislative event, March 3, Minnesota Watershed legislative event, and finally, the Minnesota Watershed Summer Tour, Detroit Lakes, August 24th to the 26th. That's a long way off, so to speak, and we'll talk about that in the future. Okay, so our final item. Motion to adjourn.
Second,
So moved and seconded.
aye.
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 Hi.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. First one on the books, right?
I'll meet with the well. Are you willing to